So I decided to retire and put him out in the field. He says he's really happy now because nobody's aggravating him anymore. And he wasn't, I mean, he was like mid-teens, and he's going to go out in the field and not be bothered anymore. So he's going to have a happy life from here on. But the fix on that uneven in the back end was push the rider to the middle of the horse. But she had sat in that position for so many years, that's where she felt like she was comfortable. And it interfered with the movement pattern. So instead of fixing her positioning, over time, we retired the horse. Over the years, did it take a toll on that horse? Yes, it did. Because some of those movement front end problems where the front feet were always compressed down. And with that kind of a movement problem, you couldn't get the horse off of the front end to allow the feet to be where they probably more naturally would have liked to have been because there was just too much down pressure on them. This is a more normal foot than the next one I'm getting ready to show you. And you know, talking about the engine light, on any of these things, these odd things showing up are that engine light that we see on our car. This horse I looked at 4 or 5 years ago. I think I sent you these, right? Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was too late. Okay. This was sent to me about 2 weeks ago. Asked me to take a look at the horse. The deal at this point, I don't care what it costs. I want you to do anything you can to come fix my horse's feet. There is a more normal, that is not a perfect alignment, that is a more normal coffin bone situation. You see how much erosion is on there. And you see where the horse has been building the elf toe. Okay. At this time, she's like, well, I don't want to spend any money. At minimum, let's look at a clog. No, I want to leave it alone. It'll be best. Feet are flat, walls are splayed out. Okay. Horse probably kept walking as long as it is due to our friend neuropathy because it probably couldn't feel his feet that well. Okay, here's another sort of normal looking foot in comparison. Now, this is not an ideal foot. I do not believe, would you say? This is not an ideal foot. No, it's not. Better than what we're getting to look at. That's the other side. Now, I'm asked, I don't care what it takes. I want you to do everything you can to fix this foot. I haven't got a time machine because that's what it would take. And, you know, I talked to him and I said, well, if you want an explanation from a higher source, call Doc, have him take a look at it. And so I wouldn't get near this thing without him at least consulting it. And the next call is going to be you, because if we're going to do it, we're going to get venograms to see if there's any circulation left at all. And the best we can do with this is probably the kinder thing. But if we were to work on this horse, it would be extremes to keep this horse upright for how long? Because that's all we could give you. Could we probably get this horse more comfortable for a little while? Probably. To what end? And at what point was this a problem? It wasn't last week. It was years ago. But we didn't want to address it at that time. It's the same thing with any lameness you deal with. And at this point with laminitic horses, this is usually where we get the call, and they want you to work on them.
So if I understand, they knew this problem was there.
I looked at this horse 4 or 5 years ago, yes.
What caused that?
You want to jump in?
Significant laminitis.
Probably low grade most of his life. Subclinical laminitis, there's a lot more of that goes on than people would ever believe. And it's just a slow deterioration. And the horse, she didn't care about it being anything but around the pasture. When I looked at it early on, it was blowing a bunch of abscesses. To get x-rays, got x-rays. We didn't have this so much erosion. We did have the elf toe building. At this point, the elf toe broke off. And if you look down at the bottom of that coffin bone, there's a lot of damage. That coffin bone, doesn't matter what we do, is going to finish rotting out. And the time to fix this horse might have started 15 years ago.